Assalamu alaikum. So today we'll be discussing third lecture in the chapter thermal properties of matter, that is change of state. So we'll consider an example of water here. So you can convert solid to liquid and then liquid to gas. The process of converting a substance from solid to liquid is known as melting process, and the process in which liquid is converted to gaseous form is known as boiling process. And we can have the conversion back to the states also. If we convert gas to liquid form, that will be known as condensation, and converting liquid to solid form will be known as freezing process. So in the process of melting, you have to provide thermal energy to a substance, and the process of boiling also you have to provide thermal energy to a substance. But in the process of condensation, thermal energy will be provided by the substance, or you can say thermal energy will be absorbed from the substance. Same thing will happen in the process of freezing. So if we look at some examples, freezing happens in a refrigerator where you put an ice cube tray filled with water, and refrigerator absorbs thermal energy from it and releases it to the environment, and that water is converted to cubes. Okay. Boiling is a common phenomenon in our kitchen. Water is boiled. Uh, Melting is also one thing which we observe in a daily life. That is, if you take out those ice cubes to cool down your liquid, so you can use that. You put your ice cubes in water, and uh, it makes that water colder, or you can say ice cubes take away thermal energy from water to convert to water. So you can observe these phenomena in your home, in your daily life. Condensation also you can observe in daily life. For example, you have boiled some water or you have cooked the food, and now you turn off the stove. So what will happen after some time? You will see that at the surface of the container, at the surface of the lid, if that is a glass lid, you will be able to easily observe water droplets on that. So that is that steam has been converted to water once again. So the process of condensation. Okay. So if we look at the heating curve, we can have a look at the phases. That graph is showing temperature against time. So when time is increasing, temperature is increasing. For example, we are providing thermal energy to some solid, for example, some ice cubes. So what is happening? At first, ice cubes are in solid form, exactly. So that temperature will be in some negative values, minus 10 or minus 20 degrees Celsius. At this point, conversion starts, solid to liquid. So that is the process of melting. At this temperature is known as melting point. And till all the solid converts to liquid, that temperature will remain constant. It means we are providing the substance with thermal energy, but it is not showing any temperature change. So where is that energy going? We'll discuss that later. But you can see a mixture of solid and liquid. So you can call it a coexistence of two states, coexistence of solid and liquid state in phase two. At the end of phase two, all the solid has been converted to liquid form, and now temperature of liquid will start increasing in phase three, and at the start of fourth phase, now the conversion will start from liquid to gaseous form. So means water, if we have considered water, so that will start boiling. Temperature will again be constant at this boiling point. So this melting point will be 0 degrees Celsius if we have considered water. Boiling point will be 100 degrees Celsius. And then if all the liquid has been converted to gas, that is phase 4 is also coexistence of two states. After that, temperature of gas will start increasing. Okay, so I think you get it. That's a very simple graph showing heating curve of water. We will also be discussing some cooling curves also. Energy utilization. So when we discuss these phases, phase 2 and phase 4, where temperature was not increasing, even if we were providing thermal energy to the substance, so that thermal energy was being utilized to separate the molecules of the solid in phase 2 and of liquid in phase 4. So thermal energy is required to separate those molecules. I'm not talking about changing the bonding of the covalent bond. I'm not talking about that. For example, if we are considering water molecule that is an H2O covalent bond, so that bond will not be changing. There are two hydrogen and one oxygen. It will remain there. That trica will remain there, but two tricas. So intermolecular forces are the forces between two molecules. That force will be overcome by this providing thermal energy to that substance. So you can say energy is being utilized to separate the molecules and uh, weakening the intermolecular forces between the molecules. You can say that. You can also tell in terms of kinetic and potential energy of the particles. Now you know how do we define temperature? That is, temperature is defined as average kinetic energy of the particles of a substance. So every particle has its kinetic energy, and average kinetic energy is the measure of temperature. Okay. So when change of state is happening, temperature is not changing. It means kinetic energy of the particles is constant, and potential energy, that is the bond energy between the particles, that is increasing when we provided it with thermal energy. So, and you have a terminology that is known as internal energy. Internal energy is the sum of potential and kinetic energy of the particles of a substance at molecular level. Now, at molecular level, sum of potential energies and sum of kinetic energy of the particles is known as internal energy. But if we talk at macro level, so sum of potential and kinetic energy of an object is known as its mechanical energy. So there is a difference at micro level and macro level. So at macro level, sum of potential and kinetic energy of an object is mechanical energy, and at micro level, sum of kinetic and potential energies of all the particles is known as internal energy. So during change of state, kinetic energy is constant, it's not changing, and potential energy is changing. So I hope you get it. So here we have some other graph, that's heating curve of water. So that's the same thing. Constant temperature region, ice is melting, constant temperature region, water is boiling. So we can relate to some more examples. Cooling curve of benzene. So you can identify two flat regions. One is uh, this will be known as gas is being converted to liquid. So this will be known as condensation process, and it will be happening at the boiling point of the benzene. And this is the process of solidification or freezing, where liquid is being converted to solid. So basically, in this example, we are absorbing thermal energy from benzene. So that solidification is occurring at almost, I guess, 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. So you can be asked to read the graph, so you can put a scale on it and measure the values. Okay, next, we are given some melting points. Um, Alcohol has a melting point of minus 117 degrees Celsius, ethyl alcohol. Mercury has minus 39 and ice 0, and so on. Wax has 57 degrees Celsius. Okay, cooling curve of naphthalene. I hope you can, okay, that value is given here. So that curve shows uh, cooling curve of naphthalene. Mixture of liquid and solid is there. So it means it was in liquid state earlier, and now it is being converted to solid. So that's a process of absorbing thermal energy. So this will be the process of freezing or solidification. So that's happening at a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. You can see that. So you can define some quantities here. some terminologies. First is melting point. Now, melting point is a constant temperature at which solid melts or solid converts to a liquid form, and vice versa also. That is also happening at the melting point. So, melting point and freezing point are technically the same thing. Now, if you can be asked to define the process of freezing or solidification. So, in the process of freezing and solidification, conversion of a substance from liquid to solid state occurs at constant temperature. Then the boiling point, a constant temperature at which liquid boils or converts to gaseous state, or vice versa. Condensation, conversion of substance from gaseous to liquid state at constant temperature. So these were certain terminologies which you can define yourself as the concept is clear. So I hope you can do that. Okay, next video we'll be discussing the latent tubes. Do like and subscribe and comment on the video.